Yes, Tulsi, interdimensional quagmire. Yeah, that's pretty good. Appreciate that one. And the water war soldiers that you pointed out there. Uh, Good job, my friend. You see, obviously you've got a gun to your head too, Tulsi, and I'm trying to resolve that problem. Okay. Now, while we're on the topic of interdimensional, and obviously I'm the Keystone Pipeline. If you hadn't figured that out by now, I think everybody's figured that one out by now. I want to tell you about my grandpa, Red Smith, right? Now his real name was Elijah, but he didn't like that name because he was raised on a cotton farm, and I don't want to get too much into that. Okay, so his nickname was Red because he had red hair. Now he went to the army and he was jumping into the Battle of the Bulge or whatever it was, some big battle where hardly anybody lived, right? And he broke his ankle. So he was taken out, they turned him into a chef after that, right? They turned him into a cook. And so he survived the war. Well, he comes back home and he had only graduated the third, or he'd only made it to the third grade. I mean, he never was educated at all, but he was very intelligent and he was a hell of a salesman. And what he ended up doing when he got back from the army was he started selling cars for Plymouth Chrysler. Plymouth Chrysler? Plymouth Chrysler. Okay, you got to break it down interdimensionally here. Let's get interdimensional. Okay, and obviously, if you read the John 4chan post, Sheldon Adelson, Sheldon Ad the Sun is when my problem started. That's when they merged me with President Trump. So the personalitron from Pinky and the Brain, right? That's what they do. They add kids to the pool, as Hillary Clinton says, right? So they did that. I can tell you when I was added to the media pool. Okay, I had the Cosmos ball when I was born. All right, that's been running circles around all these assholes, and basically owns them right now. NWO. You flip that around backwards, it says own. See, all that underlying symbolism and messaging in there really adds up when you get down to it now, doesn't it, Tulsi? So stop playing their game and expose these assholes for what they are. They're a bunch of slave driving elite pieces of shit. And the military's involved in it. And I'm not scared of you, military. Now, there's 2 generals at DOD that was involved in this USAP to expose all of y'all, right? And China's here too. And the Chinese military doesn't like the fact that Xi Jinping is a slave to the CIA. Just like General Gerasimov in Russia doesn't like the fact that President Putin is a slave to the CIA. Did you think the old KGB was going to allow you to control all the leaders in the former Soviet Union who still got generals there that aren't going to like the fact that President Putin is loyal to the CIA? Are y'all trying to get yourselves killed? Obviously you are. Because now you have the Chinese military and you have the Russian military ready to wage war against the CIA, which means they'll wage war against the United States. Now, your forecasting abilities have been superseded, CIA, by the DOD, is what's happened here. The 7 dwarfs were superseded by the 1/8 dwarf. Okay, CIA? And they may have just saved us from World War III because everybody at the CIA that's running this MK Ultra puppet leader program has got to be the biggest fucking idiots on the planet. Okay? Now, back to my story about my grandpa who came home from the army, had no education, and started selling Plymouth Chryslers cars. He was so good at it that the Plymouth Chrysler gave him a dealership. And he was so good at that dealership that they gave him another dealership, Shall Dawn add the sun? Interdimensional technology. John 4chan post. Now that's what happened whenever I was hacked, tortured, trauma-based mind controlled, personalitron from Pinky and the Brain added to Trump so that he could deceive all of the Christian conservatives in this country in order to make them deplorable when this was all over. These are fucking facts. Okay. DARPA. All right. I mean, this may be going really well. But, I think what you didn't anticipate was I to be cognizant of everything that had taken place, right? So, not to mention the fact that there's other technology here. Okay? Don't call me, I'll call you. Watch the very last episode of Pinky and the Brain, where the little green man's talking to Bugs Bunny and he hands him the suitcase, or he doesn't hand it, he's got the suitcase and Pinky and the Brain is thrown into the conversation. Okay? All right? That's a car wreck, is what you call that. I've got everybody's technology here, and I'm able to break this down. Now, shall Dawn add the sun? Shall Dawn add the sun? Operating system I. OSI. John 4chan post YouTube. I'm explaining all of this to you. It tells you what's going on. It's a quantum AI arms race, and Vegas was part of that quantum AI arms race. And it was forecasted by quantum technology. And the name on that quantum tech forecast, the prophet, was John, which is AI, by the way. Quantum AI. Okay? Now, I've also talked about the Gordon Street Tavern, and I was on General Laporte, Cordon team at Command Center Seoul, because I have everyone's technology here, and everything is connected. Okay? Now, what I'm getting at is my grandpa used to sell cars, right? And cars are what you call a human that has multiple technologies in them. A human that has one technology in them is referred to as a bicycle, which would be the former KGB Soviet Union would refer to their agents as bicycles, because it's man meets machine, and you pedal the bicycle. The progressive movement, the motorcycle drives the human. Okay? So the old KGB technology, the human pedaled the bicycle, right? Biden, okay? Now you're only a politician because of your name, so this AI can spell all this out for everybody. Democratic Party, okay? Now Tulsi Gabbard's a cosmos plant, I can promise you that. And she needs to reach down and grab her pussy flaps and start talking about this shit, okay? Actually, she's probably got bigger balls than anybody at the Pentagon, and she needs to start using them, all right? Now, interdimensional. My mouth's wide open about selling these cars, and I am a product of God, okay? I believe in Christ, I believe in Christianity, and I don't hate Muslims or any other religion because I'm aware that nanotechnology and fusion GPS and technology makes Muslims out to be a lot worse than what they ever were, if they were ever even bad in the first place, okay? All right, that's how they sell wars in America, okay? So the point of the story is President Trump, who's supposed to trump all of this, all right, that's why he was picked as president, is a real estate mogul. And if you have technology found within your brain, you're considered a home, okay? My grandpa used to sell Chrysler Plymouth cars, and President Trump is elite billionaire who's in cahoots with Soros, who's in cahoots with Bill Clinton, who's in cahoots with all of these globalist elite, and they put him into office because they knew that the name game was in play, and his name was going to be perceived by all of this technology to be something that it wasn't, and it was the biggest buffalo ever known to man to ever happen. President Trump was planted by globalists in order to put the conservatives to sleep while they implement the AI takeover. Okay? I'm breaking this all down very quantumly for you because that's what's been driving the world for a long time. Now, the Cosmos ball showed up so that I could explain all of this for you. When after emergency 911, that alien that gave Bugs Bunny, or was talking to Bugs Bunny with the briefcase in his hand and said, "Don't call me, I'll call you," at the very last episode of Pinky and the Brain, and a plane crashed into the building they were in right when that happened. The phone call was an emergency, 911. It's a phone call. The alien said, "Don't call me, I'll call you. Here's the technology. You all used it for the wrong purposes." So the alien called you and told you this was an emergency on 9/11 because you're using this technology to automate babies. And even Satan has a problem with that because now he can't steal that soul or coerce that soul out of a person. Now, I can get real Illuminati preacher on you, and I'm really breaking this down in the new Illuminati, which is the Illuma Yesi. And anybody that wants to come over here and join me, the founder of the Illuma Yesi, is more than welcome. Because I've probably blown all your fucking minds at this point. Saddam Hussein. Immediately after that, who was elected? The AI drove this because it read it. The middle name of President Obama was Hussein. It only picked Obama because his middle name was Hussein after we attacked the IRAQ quantum technology. It's all bullshit. Iran con translate. Iran con translate. Hez means dung. Bowl. Hezbollah. Dung bowl. This is the Super Bowl of dung. The media fell right into this trap. 2 German-made centrifuges. I used to work at a cyanide plant. This technology came from Hitler. Media. The 2 Twin Towers were taken out on 9/11. The 7 Dwarfs was symbolized as building number 7, which imploded, and the 2 media towers were taken out. What nobody knew about, as you could see, on the night that President Trump was elected, the media was surprised. The reason that they were surprised is because the backup computer, quantum AI, which drives all of you, it's a backup, but it's the primary, and it duped all of you, is what happened. Okay? There was 8 dwarfs, and the 8th dwarf superseded the 7 dwarfs. And the 8th dwarf tricked you, media. And that's what all of this is all about. The 8 ball on the pool table is the infinity ball. The cue ball, the white ball, drives all the other balls around. The stick is a conduit to God. The man was made in the image of God. The man playing the game of pool is God. The conduit going down to the cue ball that drives all the other balls around the table after it breaks the pyramid. You see how all that works? Now, if you want to get religious, quantumly, Illuminati, you might want to start listening to me because I can break this shit down better than anybody. Okay? Now, Tulsi. You need to really, don't let these people threaten you into not telling people what's going on. And that's what I'm here for, Tulsi. I'm a single male that doesn't have anything to lose. And I believe that you're not billionaire elite. I know you're not billionaire elite like Trump, who's a total fucking fraud, who was a globalist plant, okay? They were running Hillrod, which was going to destroy America immediately, or Trump. Both of them were globalist plants. Trump was plan B. Just grab them by the pussy. That didn't work, but it set up the major long play that ensued. And I've already explained all of that in my videos. Now, I can't break it down any better than I just did to tell you how technology has consumed the minds, artificial intelligence, AI takeover, has consumed the minds of the entire world. These billionaire elite like Soros, Bill Gates, okay, all around the world are turning all of us into slaves. And that 8 ball, the last ball left on the table, the infinity ball, just fucked all of you because that was all part of the plan. You might want to read the Bible, assholes. And all of you that watch my dominoes video, all of you that chose the wrong path, Bill Gates, okay? He was born with the name William Gates. His last name's Gates, so he's got a gate to God. He did. God gave him a choice. William, William Gates. Will.I.am Gates chose the wrong path. Therefore, he became Bill Gates. And you're going to go to hell Bill Gates, because you chose the wrong path. Now, there's other people with that exact same scenario. When you remove free will from mankind, you've crossed the fucking line. And even Satan has a problem with that. The Cosmos Ball is here, and it's going to expose all of you. And anybody that signed off on this shit is about to get fourth beasted. The fourth beast rises out of the ocean and smashes the world into pieces. Okay? The fourth beast is here. And you're all about to get schooled better than you just got schooled right now, assholes. And all of you in the Illuminati who has any kind of access to this Cosmos Ball that I'm talking about, and you know who you are, you're more than welcome to come over here to the Illuma Yesi. Okay? Because the Illuma not E is done. And that was all scripted too. See how all that works?